Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza, and joining me as always is Mangala Malu. But as we told you, there's a new kid on the block. So
Yes,
let's get straight to that. EKO Lighting. It's the new one that's listed, and a big premium what it's listed at, more than 40% premium. To understand what's the way ahead and to try to probe for some numbers, let's get in the management who's joining in on the show itself. Mr. Sanjeet Singh, the director of the company, joins in. Hi Sanjeet, good morning. First of all, congratulations. It's a good listing, but things get only a little bit more difficult from here on. So fill us in with a couple of numbers. What did you end FY23 with? And on that sort of a base, what kind of a growth are you looking at in FY24? And if you could give us a rough margin band as well.
Yeah, hi Nigel, good morning. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, the team who has worked so hard, and especially a special thanks to the investors. The people who have put in their hard-earned money and showed that trust on us. And we just want to reassure that we will continue the good work that we've been doing. And just to answer your question, FY23 numbers, they will be out in 2-3 weeks time from now. So I can talk of the first 9 months. And like I said, last time as well, FY22 we did a top line of close to around 334 crores on a pro forma consolidated basis. And FY23, the first 9 months, we have done exactly the same business, around 332 crores with the same, PAT and EBITDA figures. And going forward, if you look at, the past trend, the kind of growth that we've seen in the past couple of years, we are, hopeful that we will be able to continue this momentum going on.
Growth number you're looking at, it's a bit scattered because you had a low base in FY22 to grow, so that was 50% growth. But what should be the rough growth band you're looking at in percentage terms?
If you look at the different business verticals, we've seen very strong growth in some of our new verticals that we've had, and we are expecting and we are hopeful that we will be able to achieve similar growth numbers going forward in the new business verticals that we have.
All right, we take that point, Sanjeet. Again, congratulations. It's a stellar listing. But when you were offered, when you offered the street your stock, it was at 50 times. And now after this listing, it's trading at around 70 times trailing price to earnings. So things are beginning to be priced in with regards to the growth guidance that you're speaking about. Can you give us a sense of a couple of your verticals? Exports, a couple of years ago, was just 4% of your revenues, now has become 15% of your revenues. What is that likely to grow at? What will that contribute? And secondly, refrigeration lighting as well. That was a very small part of your business, but now is increasing. So both exports and refrigeration lighting, how much will that be as proportion of your sales going forward?
So, like I mentioned, these are some of the new business verticals that we have added. Like export, we started in 2019. We started with one, within export we have two segments. So we started the first segment in 2019. We started with commercial and industrial products for the US market. And then in 2021, we started another business, line in the export market, primarily for the US market. That is the products that we are manufacturing for the RV industry, that is the recreational vehicle industry. So we've added a whole host of products in that category, indoor, outdoor, lighting. Then we have solar panel, charge controllers, ABS pipes and fittings. So these are some of, like you mentioned about the refrigeration lighting also, these are some of the, strong business verticals that we have, and we've seen some very good growth, and that is the momentum that, is what we are looking at. And these are basically the business verticals that are going to, thrive going forward.
Right, Sanjay, we're looking for some numbers. So exports as of the 9 months were around 15% contribution, I think so. Where do you see this number headed? Tell us about that. And is there a difference in margins between exports as well as your domestic business? And, what kind of a margin outlook should we look at for the company on the whole?
So, like you must have, noticed that the consolidated margins are close to around 22%. I'm talking of EBITDA margins. And if I talk of, all the business verticals that we have, apart from the ODM line, they are in the range of this consolidated number itself. And going forward, we believe that, we will be able to sustain these numbers. And talking about the growth prospect and, in the export vertical, so we believe right now it is 15%, and going forward in a few years' time, we expect that it is going to be somewhere close to around 28 to 30% of the overall revenue.
And Sanjeet, is there a margin difference between the two, exports and domestic business?
Like I mentioned, all the different verticals have slightly, a slight variation is there. But like I mentioned, in the if you look at the consolidated numbers, it's 22%. So give or take, 1 or 2% here and there. So that is where all the business verticals basically lie.
Export contribution goes up to 28 to 30% in the next couple of years. You said that your margins will sustain around that 22% mark with a percent here and there in terms of variation. You said that you will continue to grow at a historic rate that you've been growing. I'm looking at your pro forma numbers from FY20 to the 9 months of FY23. If you annualize that, the CAGR or the compounded growth comes to around 23 to 24 odd percent. Do you believe that this 23-24% is the growth rate that one should be looking at if one is projecting ahead basis your historical growth rate? And secondly, before you listed, you joined us, you said that the fixed asset turnover of the plant that you've put up could be anywhere between 5 to 6 times. If we equate that, your revenue potential from this plant could be around 1,000 to 1,200 odd crores. By when do you reach there? So on the revenue growth front, is 25% sustainable? And by when do you reach that 1,000, 1,200 crore mark from the new plant?
I'll be very honest. I really cannot give out the forward-looking numbers. Although we have entire plan and projections laid out. Which business vertical is going in which direction and where do we need to put in more efforts, and the entire plan is laid out. But just to give you a sense of it, like I mentioned last time as well, the FA turn in our case is anywhere around 5 to 6 times, and that is going to be the rate going forward as well. But it's just that because the new plant it takes some time to set up the plant and machinery, and for the plant to function at its capacity, optimum capacity. So we are hopeful that by the time we reach that 60 to 65% of capacity in the new plant, we will be able to hit that 5.5 times the FA turn that we've been doing historically.
All right, Sanjeet, but there's nothing really to be worried about in giving forward-looking numbers, so long as you back them with the rationale and also the caution statement that these are numbers which may change basis the underlying at any point in time. So there's you can rest assured the time in the equity markets, if you continue to grow, will give your investors a lot more returns, and you can help them with guidances, etc. as well. Wish you good luck in your stint in the equity markets. With that.